We're on chapter 136 of our 1189 Bible Wisdom Journey, diving into Numbers chapter 19. And right out of the gate, we're hitting on something deeply personal.
Because, let's face it, life has a way of leaving its mark on all of us. I'm talking about regret, failure, loss, guilt. You know that feeling, right? Even when we desperately just want to move forward and be better, we're often dragging around this massive, invisible weight of everything that's happened in our past.
And honestly, deep down, there's this universal desire in every human heart. We just want to be made clean. We want a do-over, a chance to begin again, completely free from the stuff that stains our conscience and weighs down our soul. Which brings us to the core question we're tackling today. How can we actually be made clean again? To figure that out, we're turning to the book of Numbers, chapter 19, and looking at the ritual of the red heifer. Now, I know what you're thinking. An ancient ritual purification manual, how does that apply to me? But hang on, because beneath these ancient instructions is a timeless truth. God isn't just pointing out our mess, He desperately wants to restore what's broken.
Okay, so look at how incredibly specific these instructions to Moses and Aaron actually were. They had to find a red heifer, basically a flawless cow that had never been put to work. It was taken outside the camp, sacrificed, and completely burned. But then they had to throw cedar wood, hyssop, and scarlet yarn right into the fire. Finally, those ashes were carefully collected and mixed with fresh water to create what's called the water of purification.
So what was all that for? Well, if someone became ceremonially unclean, specifically by coming into contact with a dead body, they had to be sprinkled with this exact water on the 3rd and 7th days. And if they just refused, they were literally cut off from the community. It's a stark, highly visual lesson for Israel. Sin and death bring defilement, but God Himself provides the exact remedy for cleansing. You don't have to stay stuck in your mess. Now, we can't just leave this as some ancient desert history lesson. We need to bring it into the present. So let's process this through our 5 lenses, moving from literal history straight to modern application. By peeling back the layers, it's wild how much depth we find here. We're moving from a literal, physical bucket of water all the way down into deep spiritual and psychological truths, journeying through the allegorical, the moral, the anagogical, and finally landing on the wisdom lens. Let's break down those first 2 layers. Literally speaking, God set up this ritual so Israelites who were contaminated by death could be brought back into the fold. He literally made a physical way back for them. But allegorically, it's painting a huge, beautiful picture. That red heifer sacrificed outside the camp is a direct symbol pointing toward God's ultimate plan of redemption. It shows us He always provides a path to wash away the stain of sin and death. Moving deeper, let's look at the internal world. Morally, this chapter hits hard, telling us that just ignoring the contamination in our lives doesn't magically make it vanish. You can't just pretend you didn't touch a dead body. Real health means acknowledging our failures and seeking restoration. And then anagogically, looking at the eternal picture, God is showing us He wants true inward transformation through faith. He's offering a complete, lasting forgiveness that this ancient ritual was just foreshadowing. Which brings us to the wisdom layer. And man, the contrast here is sharp. Think about it. Modern life is totally obsessed with the outside, right? We hustle for external success, curate the perfect social media feed, all while quietly hiding our guilt and unresolved conflicts. But biblical wisdom completely flips the script. It cares about the condition of your heart. True strength isn't faking perfection, it's honest surrender, allowing God to restore the broken pieces inside of you. So, checking out these 10 wisdom treasures pulled straight from the text, you'll see a clear theme of grace running through all of them. Notice how God always provides a way back. He wants renewal for us, definitely not condemnation. It reminds us that unresolved burdens will just weigh down your soul, but true healing, that starts the moment you surrender. We can't clean ourselves up, but God absolutely specializes in restoration. Let's get practical and take these truths out of the theoretical realm. How does this actually apply to you right now? It's time to step into that grace. Take a real, honest second to reflect. What is that heavy burden you're still carrying around? You know the one, that baggage of shame or disappointment that just seems to contaminate your joy. What is God waiting to wash away for you today? And where do you need to actually seek forgiveness instead of just hiding? It is so exhausting pretending you've got it all together when you don't. True freedom kicks in the literal second we drop the mask, stop faking it, and let God cleanse what we are powerless to fix on our own. Just imagine that for a moment. What would it actually look like to embrace a completely fresh start? Picture waking up tomorrow totally free from the shadow of past regrets, fully leaning into the new beginnings made possible by His mercy. That's not just wishful thinking. That is the core promise of this text. But it doesn't just stop with you getting clean. Once we experience that kind of profound renewal, we're called to turn around and be agents of healing for others. So how can you extend God's restoring grace to someone else in your life who's currently dragging their own heavy baggage?
This brings us to a tough but necessary question. If God went to such incredible lengths to make a way for you to be restored, what is actually stopping you from accepting it? The invitation to drop your burdens is wide open right now. We just have to get out of our own way. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Our core wisdom statement says it best. God's grace doesn't simply cover our past, it restores our future. Numbers 19 is proof that God never wanted us trapped by guilt or the shadow of death. No matter what your past looks like, are you going to keep carrying that weight on your own, or will you let Him make all things new? Thanks for being here for Chapter 13, 189 Bible Wisdom, 1 chapter, 5 lenses, 1 wisdom.